The movie opens with our two main characters, Ben and Tina. They're urban explorers and online creators who travel to abandoned, supposedly haunted locations to film content for their channel. Right at the beginning, they enter an old abandoned building covered in graffiti and disturbing artwork. While setting up their shoot, Ben tells Tina the creepy backstory connected to the place. According to local rumors, a nurse once poisoned 7 children there before taking her own life, and people believe her spirit still wanders around, searching for more victims. But they don't really find anything paranormal. Then the movie jumps ahead 3 months. This time, we see Tina sitting underwater in a bathtub, timing how long she can hold her breath. Her current limit is only 1 minute and 22 seconds, but she's trying to push herself to 3 full minutes. And there's a reason for that. Their next video is going to involve scuba diving. A little later, Ben arrives outside her house to pick her up, and together they head toward a remote village in western France. Their goal is to find a place that's truly abandoned, somewhere isolated, forgotten, and untouched by tourists. But the second they arrive, their excitement completely drops. The location they came searching for has already turned into a tourist attraction. People are everywhere, and the atmosphere feels nothing like the lonely, haunted place they imagined. On top of that, Ben's already frustrated because their previous video only pulled around 500 views, which, compared to the amount of work they put in, feels like a complete failure. So now not only are they disappointed, they're running out of ideas. Trying to salvage the trip, Ben goes to buy wine for Tina, and while talking to a local man, he casually asks if there are any real abandoned places nearby. That's when the man mentions something strange. Years ago, an entire house sank underwater after a massive flood, and according to him, nobody ever explores it. He rushes back and tells Tina everything. At first, she's nervous about the idea, but then they realize something. If they film an underwater abandoned house, the video could blow up online. They even start imagining millions of views. That thought alone is enough to convince her. Soon after, they meet the local man properly. His name is Pierre. He agrees to guide them there, and the three of them begin traveling deeper into the area together. During the trip, Pierre talks casually with them, acting friendly the entire time. Eventually, they arrive near a lake, and Pierre tells them they'll have to continue the rest of the journey on foot. Ben asks him what the place is called, but Pierre gives a very strange answer. He says the location doesn't actually have a name, and they won't even find it on a map. Right there, something already feels off. After walking a bit farther, they finally reach the lake. Pierre explains that if they follow a set of underwater stairs leading down beneath the surface, they'll eventually reach the submerged house. The idea of underwater stairs confuses both Ben and Tina, but by this point, they're too invested to back out now. So they suit up for the dive. Ben also lowers his underwater drone into the lake. The drone's name is Tom, and it's equipped with a camera and microphone system to help them explore tight spaces. Each of them has about 50 minutes of oxygen. Pierre stays behind on the surface while the two descend into the water. As soon as they dive down, the first thing they notice is an old car underwater. But here's the weird part. Pierre claimed this place had been submerged for years, yet the car looks strangely clean, almost like it had only recently sunk into the water. And that's not the only thing bothering them. At first, the lake is filled with fish, but the closer they get to the house, the more lifeless the water becomes. Eventually, there are no fish at all. Even their electronic equipment starts malfunctioning, flickering on and off randomly. Ben somehow manages to keep everything running, and after a while, they finally reach a crypt located near the submerged house. Then, they enter the property itself. The entire house is completely sealed. There's no obvious way inside, but after searching around, they find an opening through a rooftop window near ground level. Before entering, they send Tom inside first. Then they follow. And honestly, the inside of the house doesn't make sense. Even though it's been underwater for years, almost everything looks unnaturally preserved. Furniture, walls, decorations, none of it feels ruined enough. That detail starts bothering both of them more and more. Still, curiosity pushes them deeper inside. Upstairs, they find what looks like a children's bedroom. There are family photos everywhere showing a husband, wife, and their 2 kids, a boy and a girl. The walls are covered with pictures of children, but mixed among those innocent-looking photos are 3 pistols. And from other frame pictures, they realize the father of the house was a hunter. Back downstairs, they continue exploring the living room, where several stuffed animal trophies hang on the walls. That's when Tina suddenly hears someone whispering. At first, she assumes Ben said something, but when she looks at him, he's completely silent. Then, suddenly, from the dining room nearby, they hear the sound of a piano playing underwater. Both of them freeze instantly. To stay safe, they send Tom into the room first before entering themselves. But once they look around, there's nothing there. No person, no movement. So Ben assumes maybe a fish bumped into the piano somehow. But now even Tom keeps shutting down randomly. Ben tries restarting the drone while they continue moving through the house and eventually enter the kitchen. And inside that kitchen, they find something really disturbing. Several large statues of Jesus stand against the wall, almost like they're hiding something. And behind them, there's a secret door. The moment they open it, they discover two preserved bodies chained inside the hidden room. Tina immediately panics and wants to leave, but Ben, obsessed with finishing the exploration, tries calming her down, because her fear is causing her to burn through oxygen too quickly. Once she settles a little, Ben examines the room more carefully. The bodies have iron masks attached to their faces, and heavy chains holding them in place. Then, nearby, a door slowly opens on its own. Ben decides to quickly check the room one last time, and inside, he finds horrifying evidence of ritualistic activity, including preserved human remains and signs of violent ceremonies. But Ben chooses not to tell Tina everything he saw, because if she completely loses control, she'll waste the rest of her oxygen. So they rush upstairs toward the window they originally entered through, except now the exit is gone. Where the window used to be, there's suddenly a solid cement wall. Tina completely breaks down in panic. Ben desperately tries calming her, but then she suddenly sees something terrifying behind him. A young girl. The child screams at them and vanishes instantly. Tina tells Ben what she saw, but when he turns around, nobody's there. Still, Ben himself experienced something earlier too. Near the children's photographs, he briefly noticed a shadow moving behind a curtain. And now, both of them realize they are not alone inside this house. Ben and Tina desperately searching for another way out. Panic is starting to take over both of them, especially Tina, whose breathing is becoming heavier by the second. Then suddenly, Tina notices a single fish swimming nearby, and without thinking too much about it, she starts following it. In her mind, if a fish came from somewhere, maybe it can lead them back outside. But instead of guiding them to safety, the fish leads them right back to the kitchen, the same hidden room, the same chained bodies. And moments later, the fish disappears completely. Now both of them are confused, scanning the darkness around them, trying to understand where it went. Then something even worse happens. Ben suddenly vanishes. 1 second he's there, the next, he's gone. Tina completely loses control and starts panicking. Above the hanging bodies, she notices a bell-like structure connected upward, so she desperately climbs toward it, hoping it leads outside. But at the top, she discovers heavy iron grates blocking the exit. And then, the two chained bodies hanging below suddenly disappear. Right there, Tina's fear hits another level entirely. In the middle of trying to get back down, her leg becomes tangled in the chains, and a sharp hook hanging nearby pierces into her leg, causing her to struggle even harder underwater. Thankfully, Ben suddenly returns and helps free her. And strangely enough, the bodies are hanging there again, exactly where they were before. But this time, Ben notices something unusual. Looking more carefully at the corpses, he realizes these aren't random victims. These are the owners of the house. Trying to confirm his suspicion, Ben removes the iron mask from one of them. And the moment he does, the body suddenly moves. Both corpses violently come to life. Ben and Tina panic instantly and rush toward a chimney tunnel, trying to escape while the undead figures begin chasing them through the flooded house. They quickly lock themselves inside a nearby room connected to the chimney. Thinking fast, Ben sends Tom upward through the chimney first, then he tries climbing through himself. But halfway through, the chimney collapses, separating Ben and Tina from each other. A little later, Tina regains consciousness and finds herself alone inside another room of the house. Trying to contact Ben, Tina uses Tom's microphone system. Since the drone camera connects directly to the device Ben carries, she hopes he might still hear her. But communication completely fails. And the second Tina swims closer to it, the drone shuts down permanently. On the other side of the house, Ben has trapped himself inside another room. And this is where the movie drops a huge twist. While reviewing footage and clues inside the house, Ben realizes the horrifying truth. Pierre is actually connected to this family. He's their son, which means he knowingly brought Ben and Tina there on purpose. Right then, the undead woman from the hidden room enters Ben's side of the house, while the male figure starts moving toward Tina. Tina barely escapes and starts swimming frantically through the halls, trying not to lose herself in the maze-like structure. But Ben isn't safe either. The ghostly girl Tina saw earlier finally appears again. Her name is Sarah, Pierre's sister, and this time, she physically grabs Ben. Terrified and exhausted, Tina eventually reunites with him. Ben tries calming her down and tells her he finally understands the truth behind the house. Then, he leads her back into the kitchen area, toward another hidden section connected to the secret room. Inside, they discover an old projector still running, and through the footage shown there, the horrifying backstory of the family is finally revealed. Years ago, the parents living in this house secretly kidnapped neighborhood children and used them in the dark ritual ceremonies, treating them like offerings. Eventually, the nearby villagers discovered the truth, and when they did, they retaliated. Sarah was killed inside her bedroom. The parents were killed in the hidden kitchen chamber, but Pierre escaped before the villagers could catch him. Pierre never brought tourists here by accident. He's been feeding people to the spirits of his family this entire time. After seeing the footage, Ben leads Tina deeper through another hidden passage connected to a tunnel system. At first, it seems like he's searching for a way out, but then something about Ben changes. His behavior becomes cold. He's been possessed. He actually brought her into the tunnel to kill her. Tina desperately tries reaching him emotionally, begging him to fight whatever is controlling him. For a moment, it works. Ben briefly regains control over himself, but before they can leave, Sarah suddenly appears again and attacks Ben with a knife. Ben collapses right there underwater, and Tina completely breaks down. Worse yet, her oxygen tank is empty. With no other option left, Tina forces herself upward through the water, trying to reach the surface while holding her breath as long as possible. And just before reaching the top, Tina loses consciousness beneath the lake. The movie then cuts to the ending credits, and during them, we see Pierre once again standing near the lake, this time guiding 2 more tourists toward the same place, meaning the cycle never stopped.